If your book isn't selling, most authors assume they have a marketing problem, and they're not wrong. But many authors haven't fully defined what book marketing actually is. Marketing starts long before you publish. If you think marketing is only about promotion after the book is out, chances are you're already setting yourself up for failure. So let's begin with a full definition of marketing, a definition you can actually use to sell more books. And pay close attention because you may just have your big aha moment right here. Marketing is not just promotion. The American Marketing Association defines marketing as a broad process that includes creating, communicating, and delivering value. In plain English, marketing is about creating something people actually want and making it easy for them to recognize and choose it. That means marketing includes what you create, meaning your book or books, who it's for, in other words, who your intended readers are, how it creates value, and in the case of a book, this value could be to entertain, to educate, or to inspire your readers, and how that value is communicated, meaning how these intended readers recognize that your book is something they want to read. So marketing starts at the big idea for your book stage, not the advertising or promotion stage. If you get this wrong, no amount of ads, social media, or hustle will save your book. And I see this mistake constantly. Many authors who say they struggle with book marketing are actually struggling with promotion, which is only one small part of marketing. And why that promotion isn't working will become clear as I unpack what I like to call the book marketing chain. Marketing is really the full system that moves a reader from discovery to actually finishing your book and even to recommending it to others. Think of book marketing like a chain that you can use to find new readers, make book sales, and get reviews and recommendations. You use this chain to pull in readers from the outside world. If any link in that chain is weak or broken, nothing moves. Promotion, the one end of the chain, only pulls as hard as the weakest link in this chain. And how do I know all this? I'm Matt Zaranek. My team at Rocket Expansion and I have helped hundreds of authors build careers and professional online platforms. This is what I do all day long. Now, to help you understand and solve this book marketing problem, let's go over what I like to call the book marketing chain. To understand this chain, here's the simplest approach. We're going to work backwards from the end results. Many authors only concentrate on advertising, social media promotion, email marketing, etc., and then wonder why all this marketing fails. But these are too late on the chain and only work if the first links of the chain are already strong. In fact, we found this to be so true that we only take on authors as advertising clients if their books have already proven themselves without heavy advertising. Okay, so if we looked at the chain of book marketing backwards, it goes something like this. Reader recommendations and reviews, finished reads, book sales, promotion, book quality, series or multi-book strategy, who it's for, the idea in the first place. If we find the weak link in your book marketing, you'll know exactly what to fix next. Let's go over each of these links so you can understand how each one fits into the next and how the entire chain helps you sell more books. And if this is useful so far, hit like and subscribe. I break this stuff down simply for authors so that your author career can take off that much more easily. So in our chain, working backwards from the end, link 8 is reader recommendations and reviews. Your end goal with your book marketing is to get reader recommendations and reviews. That means you've already got a sale, they've already read the book, they've already loved it, and they're actively helping you sell more copies to their friends. Word of mouth and reviews are the strongest form of marketing. If you look at the last few books you've read, how many of them were suggested to you by someone you already trust? And when you think about these trusted sources, don't forget to include the social media channels you follow or online groups you're part of. Advertising and all promotion only really work if they get your book into new readers' hands who then review and recommend it to others. Reader recommendations and reviews only happen when readers love your book. Think about that last book someone recommended to you. They told you what they loved about it, and it made you want to read it, right? Nobody recommends a book they barely finished. For someone to have loved the book, they must have at least gotten mostly through it and really got something out of it. You can't force reader recommendations. You can encourage them if you're smart, which we'll cover shortly. Now, you may be thinking, okay, yeah, reviews matter, I know that. But the fastest way to kill recommendations is simple. Readers don't finish the book. Which brings us to link 7, finished book reads. A clever way to boost reviews and recommendations is to ask for them at the end of your book. I know several authors who've gotten a ton of reviews and grown their email list simply by asking. To finish a book and give your review and recommendation, readers must actually keep reading. Yes, I know, plainly obvious, but this is the biggest part to get right. Writing a fantastic book that keeps those pages eagerly turning and gives a satisfying payoff at the end. All of the tools of writing craft come into play here, like pacing, clarity, engagement, and momentum. This could fill a whole YouTube channel by itself, so to keep it simple, I've added a link in the description to our deep dive Authorversity Zero to Pro Fiction program. Check it out if you'd like to learn more on this. Okay, so if readers quit halfway through your book, the chain breaks here. We get no review, we get no reader recommendations. Remember, reader reviews and recommendations to others are our end goal. We also get no read-through to the next book in the series, or to the next book you write, and no inquiries for a service or product you sell if your book is part of your bigger online business strategy. But naturally, if no one even buys your book, they will never finish reading it. So we come next to link 6, book sales. This is possibly the most important part of what most authors think of as book marketing. If you really understand this, it can mean the difference between meh sales and really seeing some numbers. When it comes to the book sales link in the chain, there is actually a mini chain that forms the bigger chain link we're calling book sales. In the book marketing industry, we call this mini chain packaging. This is actually such a big thing that some publishers do nothing else but search for already good books that simply have bad packaging. Because if this is all that's wrong, it's an easy fix. The book sales link in the chain goes like this. Your book cover stops the scroll and grabs attention. It frames your book in the genre. It signals the level of quality that a reader can expect inside. Yes, everyone judges a book by its cover. Cover design matters. Get expert help on this and don't skimp on a great cover. Next, after seeing the cover, your title is the big label of what your book is about. It should, in those few words, immediately frame reader expectations. If it's a magical fantasy romance, it should sound like one. Think Sarah J. Maas, A Court of Thorns and Roses. Or if it's a quirky memoir of your journey to successful entrepreneurship, make sure a reader instantly recognizes that. Think Lost and Founder by Rand Fishkin. After being drawn in by your cover, your blurb sells the promise of what they'll get when reading. It's your mini sales letter to the reader. It should be smothered in hooks, meaning you want to waste no opportunity to show every single cool thing they'll get when reading without giving away spoilers, of course. Again, for fiction writers, we cover this in our Authorversity Zero to Pro Fiction course, and you can see the link in the description for that. Next, your very first pages confirm the decision they made in reading the blurb. Are they immediately pulled into the story or problem the nonfiction book will eventually solve? If your first pages don't grab them by the throat and say, "This is what you've been looking for in your next read," they're putting that book right back down and finding something that does. Also, notice that Amazon lets you read a sample, just like a physical bookstore does. So, getting these first pages right and starting your book with an earth-shattering bang is a huge reason why somebody actually continues reading the rest. These 4 parts, cover, title, blurb, and first pages, also called packaging, make up the book marketing chain link called book sales. If they're done well, when the right reader finds your book, they'll buy it. So naturally, what has to happen before that? They need to discover your book in the first place. And for that, we need link 5, promotion. Now, promotion matters. It's just not where in the chain most people think it belongs. Promotion is how readers discover a book. It only works if the other links in the chain already work. The key with promotion is to make sure you're finding readers who read your kind of book. Remember, if your packaging is spot on, most of the time the right reader will buy it. Your job with promotion is not to sell your book. It's to get the right readers to your sales page. Ads, email marketing and newsletters, social media, interviews, newsletter promo swaps with other authors, all of these only have a chance at getting your book sales, reviews, and reader recommendations if all the other links in the chain we've covered already work. Promotion pulls on the chain, but it can't fix weak links like packaging and writing quality. This is why promotion must come after all the earlier links are solid. Promotion improves visibility, not quality. No amount of promotion will make a bad book great. So, how do we make sure we've got a quality read in the first place? Well, that's link 4, book quality, which of course is what's between the covers. Before you even have a book to promote and sell, you need to write it, edit it, and publish it. Editing matters. I recently worked with a new young adult fiction writer who put together a decent story but started at a very boring point. Those first pages we mentioned above, a disaster. A good developmental editor we used spotted this almost instantly by moving the story's beginning to right before the action. It went from, to, what's about to happen here? Oddly enough, the art and craft of writing a great book is something I've seen newer authors concentrate on the least, when actually it's the most important part of the chain. So if this is you, please take note. This became so glaringly obvious to me that I started a new business called Authorversity, partnering with million book-selling fiction writer and renowned writing coach Rachel Aaron to help fiction writers write great fiction. Writing, editing, and publishing a great book has everything to do with how well it sells. Remember, our big end goal is reader reviews and recommendations. They are the real accelerator to book marketing. And the real accelerator to getting these is leveling up your writing skill to as high as you can get it. Of course, before you even get to writing a book, you need to think about it in terms of what else you write and what else you might be known for. Which brings us to link 3, series or multi-book strategy. Writing connected books keeps readers reading. If you write books in many genres or subjects, you're going to attract many different types of readers, and most of them won't read all of your books. A much better strategy is to write the same genre under the same pen name, or even better, write your books in a series if possible. This means one reader can read everything you write, and your read-through multiplies your sales revenue per reader. It's much easier to get one new reader than 5, and so one reader buying 5 books beats 5 readers buying 1 every time. This is another reason to add an end-of-book invite to your reader. As you sign off the book, invite them to join your email and newsletter list so you can let them know when the next one is out. You can also start to develop a personal relationship with some of your favorite readers and get invaluable feedback to know what they really love most about your work. At the end of the day, if you really want book sales, you're writing for your readers. Which brings us to link 2, who it's for. Now, this is where some authors get uncomfortable, so let me be clear about what this is not. This is not about stifling your creativity. This is about respect for your reader and serving your audience well. Every book is written for someone, not everyone. In the publishing world, keeping your readership in mind when thinking about and writing your next book or series is called writing to market. This means clearly defining and understanding your intended reader. Every genre and subgenre has a certain tone, expectations, and tropes, which simply mean recurring themes found in your genre. If you want to serve your readers best, you need to know what they love. And to do this, you need to understand what they're looking for. Readers need to instantly recognize, this book is for me. Nailing the expectations of your genre help them recognize this. Now, that doesn't mean you can't write something genre-bending or be original or unique. It just means you need to meet reader expectations. A crime thriller written like a clean country romance, no matter how brilliantly written, is going to turn off your ideal reader. This writing to market link really falls under the heading of market research. If you understand what your ideal reader loves, you're going to be much more able to give it to them. Which all brings us at last to the beginning of the chain and the final link in our marketing system. Link 1, the big idea. Book marketing starts before the first word is written. Some ideas are easier to sell than others. If Terry Pratchett hadn't decided his fantasy series would take place on a disc world on the backs of elephants standing on a giant turtle flying through space, I doubt his books would have taken off like they had. The big idea behind your book determines the marketing potential of the book. It needs to be something cool, something that sounds like it hasn't quite been done before in that way, even if it has, and something that's instantly shareable. This has everything to do with the end goal, reviews and reader recommendations. Think about what you said to another when you recommended a book. Chances are you went straight to the big idea behind the book. The magic system or unique world building, the key strategic insight, or whatever it was that was the big picture that made that book instantly shareable. A big idea can mean the difference between a decent read that readers love but don't share much, and a book or series that goes viral across the internet. Okay, so to wrap it all up, here's the big picture. This is the entire book marketing chain all working together. Our end goal is reviews and recommendations because these pour the fuel on the marketing fire. A book gets recommended and reviewed only if it's loved. A book gets loved only if it's finished. A book gets finished only if it's worth reading. A book gets bought only if the packaging makes the right reader click. Promotion only works if it brings the right reader to that package. Quality, series strategy, and focusing on your ideal reader determine how strong the rest can be. And all of it starts at the very beginning with a big idea and who the book is for. So, to help you see book marketing more clearly, let's reframe promotion. Ads, promos, interviews, newsletter swaps, email marketing, these amplify what already works. They do not repair a broken marketing chain. Promotion is powerful only after the foundation is solid. So, if your book is not selling, don't ask, how do I promote harder? Ask, which link in this chain is broken? Fix the chain, then pull hard. Now, once you have got these basics of your book marketing in place, watch this video where I'll show you how to build up a promotional strategy that actually works.